You're listening to Rocket Night.
Are you ready? Tonight I'm gonna take you on a little trip. We're going down south by the mighty Mississippi. I'm gonna take you to a place where lights never dim. Bring your mother, your brother, and your best friend. I'm gonna show you where they dance out in the street. They'll tell you all about your body heat.
Welcome to the Rocket Night podcast. This is Vlad. Our guest today is a rock and roll industry veteran who has carved a series of distinctive niches. He's enjoyed a highly successful career as a sports agent, music promoter, and manager, and most recently, the founder of the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp. He's talking today with Rocket Night editor-in-chief Cherise about a new documentary exploring the magic of the Rock Fantasy Camp, as well as about the exciting new territory the camp will now cover. A warm Rocket Night welcome to David Fishof.
When I heard that you were doing a women only, you do not know. I was like really all over this.
I have to give the credit to Britt Lightning. Britt came on as the musical director of Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, and it was her idea. And we talked about this for 2-3 years. And right before then COVID hit and we couldn't do it. And I said, let's do this. This is going to be great. And I started asking, I have a woman trainer, and I asked people, David, I would go. I had a 71-year-old woman sign up today, a camper's mother, and he
she
called
plays music. She plays music. She sings,
and she is so excited about coming, and women's only, and she sings. She feels free that she can do that, and it's so crazy. And I said, does your mom have the money for this? He said, my mom called me up. She said, I'm spending your inheritance. And I'm going to do what I want to do. And, so yeah, I want to tell you, the response has been amazing. It's the fastest selling camp. So it was Britt's idea. And then I reached out, it's funny, you reach out to these different music managers and, they say, oh, we can't, because I'm limited to 80 people. And I'm not like a concert where you can take the fence and throw it back or play a bigger venue. So, a lot of these artists get big money, and, the manager said right away, oh, no, the money's too little. And then I said, do me a favor, send them the film. And they said, and she said, if David will do a women's only and give this, I'm doing it. And it was just great. And then I remember I was talking to the publicists about this idea, and all of a sudden, Ori, I call her Ori, but Orianthi,
guitar player, yeah.
She calls up right in the middle of our call. David, I'm doing this. I'm going to give the money to I'm so excited, and the excitement that it's caused has just been great. So yes, I think it's a great way to promote women. I think it's a place where they can come and feel safe and hear women's issues. Yeah. And there are a lot of women issues in rock and roll, and I thought that safe environment. So, I'm getting teased by a lot of men. Can I come? I said, no, you can't come.
Are you going to be the only man there?
Yeah, no, my plan is to come, say hello to everybody, and then leave and turn it over to Britt. And the crew is going to be women, and and producers. It's going to be always so. So it's so funny that I got a call. These husbands want to come and say, no, you can't come. You come to watch the public performances. We will. I'm going to create a man cave package for men to come and not to stay there, but to be in a different location where they could take them on trips to Hollywood, like a groupie package for them. But no, it's women only, and I really think that you're going to get so much out of it. And you guys are a strong representation, and I think it's going to be a great way for women to jumpstart their career. And we saw that on the master classes. We saw how many women came in, and women are just shy, in many cases. And I think this will, if we can walk away, we're giving them strength from all ages, and they walk away feeling, I could be in a place where I could just don't have to worry, I could sing a wrong note. I don't have to worry. I'm going to embarrass anybody, whatever it is. So I'm excited. I'm so excited about it that I got to start working on number 2 because it's going to be very successful, and we're going to sell it out very quick.
Well, being a female myself, sometimes it's intimidating if there's a bunch of guys around, and we women feel more comfortable with other women, and it's like a sisterhood thing. I can't explain it, you know.
No. Listen, part of being in a band is giving and listening to other people. And there's naturally the issue when you come together as a band you've never met. You come to Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, you're in a room. It's intimidating. People are scared. And thank God with Zoom now, where bands are going to meet 7 to 10 days beforehand. We have the master classes. We're doing everything we can to take away that fear factor. People are scared. If I tell you you're going to jam with Melissa Etheridge, you're going to jam with Jeff Beck, that's scary to people, and they shouldn't be. But I get it. I was invited to go to Michael Jordan Fantasy Camp. I said to my buddy, I'm not going. I'm not going to play one-on-one with Michael Jordan and 3 guys who want to, think they're going to be in the NBA, even though they're 50 years old. So I think it's going to be great. And I love what you say that it's going to give people the comfort level. We're going to prepare them. But I tell you, I was blown away when I asked all 4 of the headliners for quotes, and their quotes, like, I never would have got those from men,
That's it.
Yeah, great.
We're judged harder, like we're always held at a different level. And that's why the women that you do see that play guitar or drums or whatever, they're good. They have to be.
They have to be better than
yes,
good.
Exactly.
So no, we're going to do more of these, and because to me it's about giving people the experiences that they can't get anywhere else, and that's what Rock Camp really provides. You're going to be able to sit and have lunch, and sitting across from you will be Nancy Wilson. I mean, that's when these musicians come to camp, no matter who it is, they're sitting in a room with their peers. I mean, I love Jerry Cantrell came to camp, and he just sat down at a table to have lunch, and the people looked at him like, yeah, I got to eat lunch too, it's in his back of his mind. And
I'm afraid of chewing in front of them.
I know. No, it's great. It really is great. You know what? Every rock star who comes, from Melissa to Nancy, reminds them what it was like when they first started.
My biggest question, and one that people want to know, is how do you get into the fantasy camp? Or is there a lottery, or how do you choose people? Do you put an application? You
just go to the website, rockcamp.com, and you sign up. And if there's a guitar spot available, it's yours. First come, first serve. I will tell you, guitar spots sell first, drum spots also next, and then basses. If you're a keyboard player, you can wait till the last minute, but everything else will sell out. This is a one-time experience that people do, that will change your lives. The great news is people say I'm in the drug business, because once they taste the brand, they keep coming back. And it is amazing that experience that you will get, and the high but more important, that you'll learn about life. I did a program that I love to talk about called the Hoffman Institute. It's .org. It's a place where I went as coming off a divorce, and I really had to find a way to change my life or to understand my life. Being in the music business, and then before that I was a sports agent starting at 18 years old, you don't really see reality, and not in show business, you don't see it. It's just whatever. We have to admit that that's just not what it is. It's like it's a famous line, I want to go away in the circus, because then you don't have to face reality. And Hoffman changed my life, and because of that, I wanted to give that experience, and I took really what I learned there. And for me, Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp is a process to go through a life-changing experience. Mm-hmm. And whether you use it for music, when these people are musicians, they do it. But I want people to really see what take them back to their childhood, before they were hurt, before they worried about satisfying mommy and daddy all day, and to be who they really are. And, because everybody has their parents on each shoulder, and they want parental approval. People follow traits from their parents, their mothers and their fathers, give them, a lot of negative traits. And I want to come to camp and just come as pure as you can, remind you, like, you love the Castle songs of your childhood, and bring you back to that child when you are your authentic self. And that to me is what Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp is. So
one question. Do you have to be professional level? Could you just be a beginner? What level does a person have to be?
So we have beginners, we have intermediates, and we have advanced. Our new Brit has done an amazing change of our musical program, where whereby, we the beginners, you learn these beginner songs. Steve Morse learned Smoke on the Water. Anyone can play that, 3 chords. And, and if you're an intermediate, play these songs. And if you're advanced, learn these songs. We put you in a band based on your ability, and you tell us what you are. But many times we can interview you because, some people say they're advanced and they're really not advanced. And I want to put you in a band that as close as people that are like you. But I will tell you that the fun part of Rock Camp has been the counselors, because while some of them will say to me, I want the best band I can get, and my music's hard. And then Spike Edney at Queen, he says, give me the worst band, I'll make them the best band. And it is amazing how some of these counselors have taken what you think is a beginner musician. By the time they're over, that band can play, and they can do things they never could believe they could do. Because when you play with someone that's greater than you, you become a better player. And so a beginner can really learn the right way. And these rock star counselors, they're like football coaches. They all get the same draft picks, but Bill Belichick wins every year because he knows how to coach them better. And I think that you could be a beginner, and many people are picking up the guitars at age 40, have never get a chance to be in a band. So here's an opportunity to be in a band. Here's an opportunity. I'm going to throw you onto 2 live performances. You're going to record a song. You're going to write a song. You're going to play with a celebrity. I mean, it's a boot camp, but you will integrate yourself in a life of rock and roll, and my hope is you'll take that and to your life, and whether it's your business life, or you'll learn to listen to your fellow workers, whether it's to your wife, you become a better husband, because you really found your passion.
So it's therapy in a sense, isn't it?
Well, it is. I don't share that with too many people.
A little bit more fun
than
therapy, maybe.
For me, I think it's a great therapy. In the end, listen, you'll enjoy the story. And while we'll talk about the movie, I guess you saw the movie. And
yeah, I did. I watched it last week.
You watched the movie. And so you can imagine how many stories didn't make it. Everyone's got a story. We could have done stories. But one of the ones that I just, there was no room, it's made it, and then I had to go down, and because, you have to keep these, I can't tell you what hit the cutting floor, but this one story was, I invited a woman, I called the Susan Coleman Foundation. I said, send me somebody musically. I love to do charity. I love to invite a soldier. And they sent us a woman from San Diego, and she came to the Meatloaf camp, and she's at breast cancer. And she comes to the camp, and she goes through the experience, and it was such a great experience for her. And she goes back, and the doctor says, you're doing better. And she said, I relieved a lot of stress in my life. And she went on to write a book called Rocking the Pink. And and she got a record deal that she wanted. It just, her dream came true. It was amazing. She charted on Billboard. She wanted to do that, maybe the bottom of the chart, but she got it on Billboard. Mm-hmm. So I called her up, and because she had written the book, I said, would you come do an interview for the film? And she comes in, does an interview. And the last question I asked her, because the guy's asking the question, the interviewer, and I said, I want to ask you one other question, Lauren. I said, when you left Rock Camp, did you get depressed? I mean, because I take you through 4 days, you're on such a high. Yeah. And then I tell them, listen, you're going to go back home to your regular jobs. Yeah. You might get depressed. I'm going to go start another camp. So don't worry about me. But, I'm concerned about. And she said, David, I left your camp, and I'm a lawyer, and I swore I was never going to write another brief again in my life. And because I learned from all these rock stars to be my authentic self. All these rock stars made it because they're authentic, and they did what they want to do with their lives. And I said, I'm going to take what I learned and be my authentic self, and I'm going to quit my law job. I always wanted to be a singer in a band, which I'm doing. And I'm also became a writer, and I've written 14 fiction books that are #1 on Amazon worldwide. Oh. And I had to change my name to Lauren Rowe. And I went into tears, and she said, I'm all better. And my breast cancer is gone. She says, David, I can't tell you the music and, what cured me, and
power of positive thinking.
Positive thinking. And, and that's, to me, that's the story. I mean, that's a life story. So that's been exciting for me when you see it changing people's lives.
Well, in the movie, there was a focus on a woman who was an accountant, and there was an autistic fellow that really benefited from it. It was interesting how he was like a savant with the guitar.
It's amazing. It,
Yeah.
it shows you the power of music, what it can do. And, if you want something, you can, it shows you if you really, really want something and you can change your life and go for it. And what, to me, the movie represents more that, my wife's an artist and she went to college and she didn't do it and she was feeling insecure. No one bought her art. And I think she's around me and the kids, and my daughter Alana is a very successful nutritionist. And Alana Molstein, she's got a 1,000,006 TikTok followers, and she lost 100 pounds. She works for a company called Beachbody, and she changes people's lives all the time. And so my wife got, 50. She decided to go back to do her art. And let me tell you something. Last few days she's been selling NFTs. She's been selling art, and it's been so great. So what I want the film to really for people is that whether you want to be an artist, whether you wrote an app, whether you want to write a book, whether you want to be a musician, you can change your life at any age. You just have to apply yourself. And these people in the film apply themselves through music. But I'm hoping that people will watch this film and say, wow, I can do whatever, I'm not scared.
The people that go to rock camp, after they leave, do they think they're going to be a famous musician, or are they actually going just for the experience of it?
Totally the experience. The last thing I've ever promised, and I never would promise anybody a career. I hate that. There's so many people out there doing those things, and you got these ex-music managers say buy my program, and it's not going to happen. It's a lie. But I have to tell you, I'm on the streets of New York about 3 years ago, and I'm waiting for my son to come out of an office building in New York. We're going to have lunch, and a guy stops me. He says, Mr. Fishof, I just got back from Moscow. I said, okay, great. He says, my band, we just opened for Aerosmith. I said, what? In front of 50,000 people? I said, what? He says, yeah, I met Joe Perry at your camp, and I took the telephone number of the manager and the business card, and our lead singer's from Moscow, and when we released our CD, I called her up and I said, is there any chance that we could open? She said, well, send me the CD. And she was very nice and show it to Joe. So Joe, she took it into rehearsal one day and said, Joe, this band, wants to open for you guys in Moscow. He says, do I know him? He says, yeah, you met the guy in Rock and Roll Fantasy. He says, let him open. The guy opened for Aerosmith. And I've had
doors open.
Open. And I've had Roger Daltrey allow people their bands open for him, or to he'll bring a person on the stage, or Mark Slaughter, his whole band from camp came to visit him one night, and he said into the audience, okay, ladies and gentlemen, my band's going to walk off and I'm going to bring on my camp band. So yeah, it's been fun. That part's been fun. But no, listen, you can't promise anyone stardom in show business. It has to come from inside.
That's true. How many people are in the camp? I mean, how many allowed? Like 20 or 30?
No. We have 60 to 80 people. Depends on the band. Wow. Yeah.
The movie, I couldn't tell from what movie.
6 to 80 depends on the signups, and again, I have to form bands. So if I have 30 bass players and I only have 12 bands, 18 people can't come. So they have to wait for the next one. So yeah, it's a privilege. It really is, and you want to get your spots. And like I said, people know they sign up early.
Are there openings now?
Yeah, there's openings now. Yeah, there's definitely openings now. Yeah, a lot of vocalists, so I could use some female drummers. And yes.
Are there any openings for a female journalist photographer?
Yeah, absolutely.
That plays music.
Good. You talk to Melissa; she'll set you up. That's her job.
I play drums, guitar, and also,
really.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk to Melissa. We'll have a conversation. That'd be great.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. Oh, okay, good. Drummers we need.
Through the years, you've done a lot of fantasy camps. What have you seen through the years? Any kind of evolution or change as far as from the beginning to now we're in the millennium, way into the millennium?
Well, I've been able to, attract people like Stone Temple Pilots and Jerry Cantrell, and hoping to get more, coming down that age, that generation. And but I've seen the hope that people have gotten and the dreams, and that they're playing in bands, and they're writing music, and many have joined tribute bands. So that's been fun. It's been fun. And to meet these people, they're incredible. Years ago, I got up at a rock camp and I said, I represented a beetle, I represented an animal, a bird, a monkey. Mm-hmm. And it's a joke. And I said, all I did was, my job was to keep you people away from these rock stars. And now I love you people, because they're the ones who really took the opportunity to come to camp and take that chance. And I'm telling you, it's the greatest experience ever if you love music, but people are scared. So that's why the movie came out, because the only reason I wanted to do that movie was I wanted to show people not to be scared, that these rock stars know they're there to help you. And we're here to make the experience, for you. And I tell them all, we have a lot of meetings before, it's leave your ego at the door. It's all about these people. Let's give these people an experience. And they all agree. And that's why they keep coming back, because they see the life-changing experience.
Well, I'll tell you, the movie was a lot of fun, and it's definitely a feel-good movie. And I guess I watched it because obviously I had a personal copy through Vimeo, but it's available through Apple.
It's on Apple, and it's on Amazon. And last night, DirecTV just bought the 4K rights for it, and it's going to be rolling out soon. But you can go on Apple and see it, and I'll tell you, it was interesting with the film. And while you watch all these other music documentaries, where I remember we traveled with Ringo, we used to joke in the van behind the music. The band makes it big, band loses everything to drugs, and manager steals, and then all of a sudden, band makes it big, and so it's up and down. And this film takes you slowly, and it builds. And I really think Doug Blush and Jeff Rowe did an amazing job. It took them 5 years. They went through 90 terabytes of footage, but they did a great job. And they basically said, David, stay out of the kitchen and let us bake the cake. And so it was, I think they did a great job. And it's a great film. It really is. I'm proud to say it wasn't making it. It was hard to make it, standing on the outside, because I'm not in the film business. I'm in the live music business, but watching it being made was hard, but the final result was amazing.
It was really poignant seeing the father and the band with his sons.
The father and their son.
That was really nice.
I spoke to Scott last night at 12 o'clock at night. We're such good friends, and he wants to bring the whole family to camp. And JJ Rawpower is playing in a band now. He plays keyboards, he plays bass, and really changed his life. And he's going to come to camp. His father's they're going to do their own family band.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Anything that you would want before we leave people to know about the fantasy camp that maybe you haven't talked about?
I would love them to watch the film, and I'd love them to come to camp and get that experience, and especially the women's only. I think that's great. And but I think they should see the film. We're going to be doing other camps. We're going to do Americana camps. We're going to do jam band camps.
That's important because there's genres. It's not just rock.
Yeah. We just announced. We're going to announce those soon. I'm going to partner with some people, and we're going to do jam band, and we're going to do a songwriting camp with Desmond Child. And if you are a songwriter, and you can spend 3-4 days with Desmond, that's a fantasy. So, he's amazing. They'll be in Nashville in April.
Are these going to be like in 2022?
Yeah, 2022. Yeah, we start with the Scorpions in Vegas with Queensryche. We're doing a camp there, and we're doing that's April 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Then we're doing jam band. We're going to do Jerry Cantrell over President's Day weekend. So yeah, go to rockcamp.com. Get on our email list. We're always announcing new camps, and as long as people want the fantasy, we're going to give it to them.
You're listening to Rock at Night.
The introductory song, Get On Down, is from blues artist Billy Bass Alford. Look for his music at ReverbNation.com.